Welcome back to another episode. YKB Sports, Ball Sports podcast. We had a low hiatus. Some things happened. Uh, backstage, off away from the scenes, whatever you want to call it. But we're back. We have a lot of basketball to talk about, specifically NBA and WNBA. So we're going to start off with the game seven that just happened. The Thunder versus the Nuggets. What are your thoughts on that series?
The Thunder and Nuggets series. Now, the Nuggets, I thought they were gonna win that game seven, but the Thunder won. SGA, he's MVP. You know what I'm saying? It's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. What I was shocked about was that Caruso and Jokic situation. That's what I was shocked about.
Yeah, they when they put him on there, I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if this is gonna work. But they have so many versatile defenders
Hmm.
around whoever's guarding Jokic that it kind of gives them more flexibility than anybody else.
Right.
So, like if they ran out their team from last year with no Hartenstein and no Caruso, they would have got dominated, especially in the paint. I mean, they
Absolutely.
still they still lost the battle for a lot of the series like in the paint just because the Nuggets just they're a more physical team and the
Hmm.
Thunder more rely on just sheer athleticism and just their depth. So that was a very interesting matchup. Minnesota presents the same problems in terms of just size. Now they can obviously play Rudy Gobert off of the court because he doesn't stretch the floor and he might get cooked on the perimeter. So
Hmm.
I think it'll be an interesting matchup. But um, yeah, I was honestly not expecting that to go seven just because of Denver's their inability to defend and their just lack of consistent help outside of Jokic and Jamal Murray. Um, so it was very surprising to me that it went seven.
I
But
knew it
you
was going to
thought,
seven.
sorry, what was that?
I said I knew it was going to seven.
It was
Denver, they always go to seven. They they
they're addicted
always.
to it. Yeah, they OKC had two wins. I mean, they won that one game. I think it was a game two. They won by 40 something,
Yeah.
and then they blew them out in game seven. Denver, I think their three wins were like they were plus 20 or plus 30 something.
Mm.
So it just shows you the difference in how they won. Denver didn't have that much margin for error. OKC did. Like J Dub had some games where he just wasn't that good,
Hmm.
where he was just settling for threes. But when he was able to get in transition and play off of their defense, we saw what they were fully capable of.
Yeah.
So, uh, but we look forward to the Wolves series. I think this series could go seven again. I pretty much see it as a toss up coin flip series.
I
What are
got
your
OKC and
opinions?
six.
Okay, seeing six. Yeah, it's a the regular season matchup. I mean, you can't really take much from either of these conference finals matchups because a lot of people didn't play,
Mm.
and the Timberwolves look a lot different than they did like before. Like Julius Randle and DiVincenzo were still getting their sea legs like beginning of the season.
Hmm.
So it's kind of hard to tell exactly off of those matchups. But yeah, if Lou Dort can really get up in Ant, I think he's one of the best defenders for Ant in the league because he can be physical with him, but he can also slide his feet. So if he can just keep Ant inefficient, and I think that'll really boost OKC's chances to win.
Same with Julius Randle. Nobody has stopped Julius Randle in this playoff. Somebody has to stop him. He's a madman right now.
What do you
So,
think is the X factor on each team in this series?
like what you said for the Thunder, I'm gonna say Lou Dort because his shot has improved too. So if he can get like his offense with his defense like together, because we already know J Dub and SGA gonna be the two main scorers, but who else is gonna bring scoring? But just just if one of them having a bad night. And for let me see, the Timberwolves, I'll have to say Jaden McDaniels or maybe Alexander Walker. I'm gonna say Jaden McDaniels because yeah, one of them gonna have to play well this series. Like I feel like in two games, one of them is gonna have to play well to win it all. You know what I'm saying? Like to win
Yeah,
if they want to win.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I agree with you on both of those X factors. Just to name someone different, Chet, he really struggled from him and J Dub really struggled from three
Mhm.
last series. So if Chet can knock down his three balls, especially, and get Rudy Gobert off the floor, that'll impact the Timberwolves' offensive rebounding
Right.
and their just paint presence. So I think that's really important for this series. And then for the Timberwolves, I would have to say Dante DiVincenzo. He's going to be guarding Shea a little bit, maybe. How well can he defend Shea?
Right.
Shea's obviously arguably the best isolation player in the league right now. So
Easy.
whoever's guarding him, he killed. I think he averaged 37 on them in the regular season.
Mhm.
So we'll see what happens in the playoffs. It is a different game as we've seen in these playoffs. They've allowed a lot of physicality. Two of the 60-win teams are out. The teams that shot the most threes. So it's looked like a completely different basketball game, which
Right.
is one of the reasons why I think the Nuggets actually took OKC seven. But
Mhm.
yeah, I think those are two X factors for this series. But I do think it'll be a good one. Ant versus Shea, you know, two completely different personalities.
Right.
Nonchalant versus you know boisterous. So
Mhm.
it'll be a great series. Uh,
Absolutely.
but we'll transition over to the Eastern Conference. Uh, Pacers took out my Cavs. Fortunately, they destroyed us. They put that belt on us. But
How? I don't know
terrible,
how.
terrible. They just they play communism basketball. Like they just all play together. They just like Halliburton. He'll have games where he'll score like 10 points and they'll win because they just have so many guys who just do their part. I think
Nimhard.
yeah, like their entire team is just built off of like they all fit their role perfectly.
But the
Um,
Cavs, I feel like the Cavs got too much talent. Too much talent to lose. That's how I
mhm.
feel.
Yeah, when you play the Pacers, there's not really a team in the league that plays like them. Like they just, they have a bunch of guys who just score. They like to play really fast, especially when Halliburton has it going.
Mhm.
So it is an adjustment period. And if you don't adjust fast enough, you'll like the Cavs did and the Bucks did, you'll catch yourself down in a 2-0 hole, and then it'll be hard to come back from that.
Right.
Um, but yeah, the Pacers are a very dangerous team, and they just play differently from everybody else. And they play completely opposite from the Knicks. The Knicks are heavily reliant on Jalen Brunson. So uh, I mean, he won Clutch Player of the Year. So
He deserved it.
yeah,
Yeah. Jalen Brunson in the fourth quarter, especially in the clutch time, he's probably one of the scariest players in the NBA. Then Cat, I'm actually a fan of Cat. I be seeing people talking down on Cat. I think dude could play. Like, I've seen him interviews, but I think he could play basketball though. Like, dude can hoop. Mikal Bridges. Now that's one of my X factors. Now, I do think the Pacers are going to win, but if Mikal Bridges showed up like he did that last series, the Knicks they're gonna be hard to beat, man.
yeah. I also have this series going 7 games. Um, I have as my X factor for the Pacers is
Mm.
actually Aaron Neesman.
Yeah.
Um, it Jalen Brunson might be guarding him just to give him so he's not guarding.
I hope not. I don't think he's ready for him. I don't think defensively Neesmith is a baller, man.
The problem with Neesmith is that he crashes so hard.
Mm.
So that would be very interesting. Whoever's guarding him, but he just crashes every single time. Like, and
Fact.
he plays so hard. So you literally have to box out every single possession.
Absolutely.
Who's your X factor on the Pacers?
Um, I'm not gonna say he really an X factor, but Nimhard, you know what I'm saying? Because usually he show up, but like he gonna have to show up to beat the Knicks, because the Knicks they got scores too. Like I said, they got Josh Hart for defense. Like they're gonna be able to rotate everything. Like he's going to have to show up because you already know how I feel like Halliburton and Siakam and Miles Turner gonna show up for sure. That's why I think is gonna show up for sure. But Nimhard, yeah, he got to show up.
Yeah, yeah. They've been relying on them, especially in the playoffs. So they just keep what they're doing. They have a good shot at winning. For the
Hmm.
Knicks, I would have to say Mikal Bridges, uh, because he can. While he's not a primary ball handler or primary shot creator, he can provide a little bit of like off the dribble scoring threat to relieve Jalen Brunson.
Hmm.
We've seen games where Mikal Bridges is just knocking down every mid range shot. We saw it against Boston a little bit. We saw it. I don't know if you saw that Christmas game against the Spurs when he
Hmm.
was going crazy. He had like he had a bunch of mid range shots. Like he was just pull up midi after pull up midi. But if he gets that going, they have a great shot at winning. Um, Another thing to mention is just the fatigue factor. The Knicks, I mean, we saw it last year when their entire team broke down. Brunson got hurt. OG Anunoby tried to play on a hamstring injury, but he just couldn't go.
Right.
They are heavily relying on their starters, so it's very possible that you know fatigue could play a huge factor in this. Also, the Knicks have home court, so that's to their advantage. But yeah, who's your X factor on the Knicks?
I agree with everything you said about McKill. Like he is, if he don't show up, they lose. Like they lose. Like he has to show up. He has to show up.
Yeah, yeah. Cat is an interesting matchup with Miles Turner,
On my
because
life.
Miles Turner he's been shooting the three ball well in the playoffs. So especially if they bring him up on that pick and pop with Halliburton, that could really expose some things and create some advantages for the Pacers. So
Hmm.
it'll be interesting to see how Cat can hold up on the perimeter. And in my opinion, I believe that they won't be able to hold up. And I have the Pacers in seven. I think a lot of the games will be close, and Brunson will win them a few games just because he's been the best late game player in the NBA. But overall, I have the Pacers as the better team and winning in a competitive 7 games.
Where do you rank Halliburton in point guards? And is he overrated to you?
It's hard to say. Um, so obviously, I we have. Are we counting SG as a point guard? Or
I mean, yeah, yeah.
okay,
Like, do he play? Is he listed as point guard?
yeah,
Yeah,
because they
yeah,
got
yeah.
rid of
Point guard.
Giddy, so like, yeah. Um, so I'll say SGA, Brunson, obviously. Um, Luca.
Mm-hmm.
Who else?
Curry.
Yeah, Curry. Shoot, how did I forget? Um, man, it's tough.
Kyrie, maybe, or
I would have him above Kyrie just because his
injury. He
ability.
ain't play.
Well, that and his ability to like be a floor general. I'll say.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I mean, I obviously like watching Kyrie more, but obviously, but
No, I get what you mean. Yeah, I get
yeah,
what you mean.
but Halliburton is just. I feel like he's just a better floor general. I mean, he basically averages 10 assists every year,
Mm-hmm.
around 20 and 10 every year. So that's even though he's inconsistent scoring, he's always gonna direct the team where to go. But yeah, I say he's around top five. It's him and De'Aaron Fox, I would say, right
Okay.
there. I would put him slightly ahead of De'Aaron Fox, like slightly ahead of De'Aaron Fox. But it's close though. It's close. We got to see what De'Aaron Fox does with Wimby. That'll be interesting to see. So
Yeah, it'll be crazy. Like if the Pacers, let's say if the Pacers and the Thunder play each other in the finals, his stock will go up. I just don't see them beating. I don't see nobody in the East beating nobody in the West. That's what
I don't either.
I don't see it.
I don't either. I think the matchup Thunder Wolves is the finals.
Hmm.
Um, Especially with like you have Ant versus uh Halliburton. Obviously, Giannis was destroying the Pacers, but they have literally nobody else. The Bucks
Basically.
had nobody. That team was a joke. But yeah, the Thunder, they're the deepest team in the league.
Hmm.
The Wolves are very experienced in these. I feel like the Wolves are a big game team too. Like they just show up in big games somehow and they
Yeah.
grind it out. And Anthony Edwards, I think he's probably the best young leader in the NBA.
Hmm.
Him and Shea, I say, best young leaders in the NBA. Like they somehow know how to get the best out of their guys. So um, that'll be very interesting matchup.
Yeah.
I think Pacers versus either team would be uh, they could get a couple games, but yeah, I definitely think the team in the West will win.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, so there's some betting odds that I looked up, and the Thunder are actually surprising favorites, and they are minus 375. So if you bet $375, you only win 100.
Okay.
So that's actually I'm surprised they're that big of favorites. Um, Obviously they won 68 games, so that's and there's some algorithm that the betters or the bookies put
Right.
in, but I think these teams are pretty evenly matched, especially with OKC's youth. So if you would bet, I would say Minnesota might be a better value if you really believe in them winning. And in terms of the Knicks Pacers series, the Knicks are anywhere from minus 148 to minus 155. So if you put in $148, you win 100. So that's a little bit closer. I mean, I have the Pacers winning,
Mm.
but yeah. Wait, did you give your prediction for who's winning? The Pacers Knicks?
Yeah.
Oh, you did? Okay. Okay.
I said
Um,
it like early.
okay. There was also there's also been the start of the WNBA season. It's been two games for some teams, one game for other teams. We've already had a controversy. Who would have guessed? Who would have guessed that Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese would have a controversy on Twitter? Not me, not me. But yeah, the Fever they look nice. they yeah they got a
And they
good
play
chance.
bad. They look nice and they play
Yeah,
bad.
like
Missing layups.
that's what they did that last year. They just I don't know. I hate when they do that. They just start selling Caitlin Clark assists. But
Man.
uh I hate to just that we have to talk about it, but the foul on Angel Reese, everybody's talking about it. They're calling Caitlin Clark a racist for fouling Angel Reese. They're calling her everything in the book. What do you have to think about that?
If you're not gonna speak about Angel shoving Natasha Howard first, don't speak about it because everybody want to keep saying it's white versus black. Well, Natasha Howard was black. What about black on black? You know what I'm saying? Caitlin Clark,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? All Caitlin Clark did was help her teammate out. She ain't want to give a free layup, foul. But everybody want to, exclude that part and just show them two. You know what I'm saying? But not show the other. the other sister. So they want to keep saying the word sister, the other
Yeah.
sister. We got another sister out there. So
The sad part is they're gonna call us a sellout, and we already know it.
yeah,
So
we
we've
don't
we've
care.
accepted it. We just want to watch good basketball. We don't care about
No, we
the
ain't
the pro-
accepted. We in the field for real. They just don't know who we are. They don't know how much
yeah
work we put in. We
yeah.
probably
But
put in
I
more work
mean
than them.
yeah, they're about. I mean they're gonna be calling us stuff anyway. We really don't care.
Yeah,
Honestly,
we
we're just
don't.
gonna speak the truth. So yeah, it's just basketball. It was a foul. It happens. I don't think it was anything malicious. Like there was no just she was trying to hurt her. No,
No.
that's just called intense basketball. And also, they keep talking about this being a rivalry. I don't know. I mean,
Only
obviously
reason it's a
LSU,
rivalry, I'm gonna say why they saying it's a rivalry. Remember when Angel put the ring
yeah,
in her
something like
face?
that.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's the only reason because ever since, like everything been intense. You know what I'm saying? Like them games,
yeah.
they all been intense.
The
The
Twitter
ratings
talk.
go
Yep.
up.
Yeah,
I just read something this morning. That game had 3.1 million viewers.
yeah. They're getting NBA more than NBA ratings. So it's crazy what Caitlin Clark is doing for the WNBA. I mean,
We
last year.
we gotta say both of them though. It's both of
Oh,
them.
both. Yeah,
Yeah, both of them.
yeah. They. I mean, Angel Reese is it's crazy because she's. I mean, she's a great player. Don't get me wrong, but she knows how to market herself like
Hmm.
off
No,
the court to just get people talking about her. Whether that's good or bad, it is what it is. But she's growing the game either way.
she
They're
is.
saying negative things, they're saying positive things, but people are still talking about it. Now,
Hmm.
there are some times where I personally believe that some of the criticism is like a little bit too harsh.
Hmm.
It's, especially like if you're someone in that situation, she's just trying to grow the game. But I also believe that she does some things that are too excessive. But it's also hard to find that line. So, and she's still a young. She's what 23.
Something like that. Yeah.
So
She's
I
still.
mean, she's still a young player. So
Hmm.
she's just young in general. So there's still a lot of time to just develop as a player. I saw the reporter ask her if she worked on her offhand. She was like, I'm right-handed."
Right.
So
I
that
seen
was
that.
funny. That was funny. Yeah, if she can just make layups, she'd
Oh
be
no,
pretty
it's
much
over.
unstoppable.
No, that team is bad, bro. They got her bringing the ball up.
Oh, it's terrible.
They
But
got
that I
like, bro, the guards can't score more than 5 points.
oh horrible.
Bro, it's
But I
terrible.
also think that'll be good for her development, just to be on a team where she just has to do certain things.
True.
It's kind of like when Giannis was on the Bucks and they were uh like just trying to build and they just put him at point guard. They're like, just do whatever,
Mm,
just because I now obviously she's not Giannis, but
right.
just being able to just grow her skill set in the actual game setting.
Right.
That's something that could really help her out in the long run. Um, but yeah, also Kelsey Plum, she had 37 the other day. So uh yeah, that was I was surprised when they traded her, but
I heard it was something about like it was like in-house stuff going on, like people was going on like getting mad.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. The Aces had a lot of, they went back to back. They couldn't do the three-peat last year. So that stuff kind of happens when you have a team that's been so many deep playoff runs. People just start to get on people's nerves and stuff like that. Just little stuff that happens. But another team is the Washington Mystics. They
Hmm.
were they were a big surprise. If you could speak on that a little bit.
Yeah, no, man, I'm shocked. I'm still tuning into them. You got the Brittany Sykes girl, Citron, the girl Citron, Brittany Sykes. She had 27 points. So like it's the end of the fourth quarter. She hit the Citron girl. This is a rookie. Like these rookies, bruh, they hooping with the big, like, bro, rookies
Yeah,
are coming in, like, giving, like, the people who've been in the league, like, for years,
yeah,
like, a run for their money. Like, it's crazy the development of women's basketball. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah. The skill set. I mean, even since COVID, like the skill set of women's players has grown so much.
Hmm.
Uh, it started. I mean, it started like 30 plus years ago, obviously, 40 years ago, whatever.
Mm.
But um, ever since Maya Moore, I feel like she really changed the way that a lot of people play. And then you have somebody like Sabrina Ionescu, and then that turned into Caitlin Clark, um, and then Asia Wilson. So I think the game's headed in the right place. The biggest thing is literally just politics. These people politicking. That's the only thing stopping the game from growing.
Yeah, it's
Because
it's it's sad, bro. It's sad, bro.
yeah, it's it's like a lot of these people want the game to grow, but then when the people that come around that are growing the game, it's always some hate. There's something, and then
It's
when people aren't educated, like they'll be shaming those who aren't educated. Like they're trying to learn, but you just keep shaming them. You got to teach them some way.
you know how you watch basketball because you love the game of basketball?
Yeah,
That in the WNBA,
it's
it's
pop.
not like that, bro. It's not like that. Like they watching it for different like they trying to look at any it could be something small. They trying to say, "Oh, she don't like her cuz she's black. She don't like her because she
It's
this is
always a political agenda.
and you know what's so crazy? Both players said in the interviews it was a basketball play and the fans is
Exactly,
still
exactly. It's the same thing with like these LeBron, Kobe fights, or fan fights. Like, why can't you just respect the players? They're great players. Let them play the game. Stop making politics and drama out of nothing. Like it just ruins things.
black women, y'all doing LeBron James wrong. He been giving back to the community for I don't know how long, and to go against LeBron James and saying he not going for a sister, you're crazy.
He
Name me
shouted out,
somebody who done gave back more to the community than LeBron James. I can't believe that they turn their back on LeBron. That's crazy. Crazy, bro.
man, it's nuts. He's giving out shout outs to Angel Reese, literally promoted Asia Wilson's shoe. Like, what are we talking about? What are we talking about, bro? What more do you guys want?
I don't know, bro.
Like we we got the charter planes last year for the first time, where
Mhm.
every team can get charter planes and they don't have to fly commercial. Like we're trying to progress things, not just have some hate speech so things can go back to the way they were.
Right.
But I digress. Let's talk about the draft lottery a little bit. So the Mavericks come out of nowhere. Nico Harrison's legacy is absolutely saved. He is now a free man. He's the luckiest man on the face of in the face of human history. Uh, he was facing prison, borderline facing prison time for what he did to that city. But he has been saved by Adam Silver. Absolutely saved. I mean,
Bro, you know what
I
keep popping
can't
in my
believe it.
head, bro? That picture of
Oh
Nico.
yeah, the pick with side eye, yeah, bro, that's crazy, bro. He knew he must have known the whole time. He must have had the method. He had the method, bro. There's no way. There is no way that they are allowing that. This is 2 straight years
Did you see
where
how he got up out of his seat in that video?
oh, Dallas was about to turn into a dead city. It was about to get ugly. But man,
They
this
got
is
potential too if they get
yeah.
Cooper Flag. I don't know if they might.
Oh,
I
they're
heard they
getting
might
Cooper
trade they
Flag.
pick for
No,
Giannis.
they're getting Cooper Flag.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah, they need some future. I
Yeah.
mean, because Kyrie's already. He's gonna
Injury.
miss most of next year.
Oh, for real?
Well, yeah, because that ACL injury. So, well, I wouldn't say most of next year, but he's gonna miss the beginning of next year, most
Okay,
likely.
yeah, for sure. I believe that.
So, you got to give him time to just get his legs back.
Hmm.
But Cooper Flag, I want to see what they do with Lively and then Gafford. You know, I
I hope they
that'll
keep.
be because they have AD and then you have Cooper Flag. Like that's a lot of defense.
It
So I
is.
wonder if they try to trade for another shooter. They did trade Quentin Grimes, which made I didn't understand that, but we'll see what Max Christie turns into.
He got game. Young dude got game. He ain't have the opportunity, in LA, but
Yeah,
he a
I think
dog.
he'll be a lot better than he was in LA just because of the pressure of LA and then playing with LeBron. So it's a big lift off his shoulders.
I mean, he was balling already. He just wasn't getting no playing time. Like the Lakers was
Yeah,
just.
yeah, that'll be interesting. This is the second year where a playing team gets the number one pick. Uh, Unfortunately, the Hawks got it, and then in one of the weakest drafts in NBA history, the
Right.
Mavericks got absolutely saved. If I'm the Wizards,
Nico.
if I'm the Wizards or the Hornets, I'm like, bro, what can we do? We have been trashed for years. What more can we do?
Man, I'm happy that Cooper ain't go there, man, or to Washington or Charlotte. I ain't want him to go there.
I actually think Washington has a future. They have a lot of like young dudes that nobody's really paying attention to. Like
Yeah.
Koulibaly, he played in the Olympics for France. Bub Carrington, they have Alex Sarr. He actually looked like an NBA player at the end of the year. So
Mm.
uh, but yeah, that would have been like even with Cooper Flag, like a 3 year process to become a respectable team. But yeah, the Mavericks absolutely saved. Also, let's talk about Jason Tatum's Achilles injury. That was hard to watch.
Mm.
I criticized Jason Tatum a decent amount because of his shot selection, and I'm like, bro, you're 6'9", like just use your physical advantage. But you never want to see somebody get injured, especially an Achilles injury, which is one of the worst injuries you could ever get.
Mm.
Um, seeing somebody like put in so much work, and then you see his reaction like after he tore, like he knew exactly what happened. That's just hard to watch.
It
So
was. And he was having a great game too. That was a great battle going on between
yeah,
the Celtics.
yeah, yeah, that was a tough watch. That changes the entire future of the Celtics. Like uh, they might get rid of Holiday. Porzingis had, some health issues with. He was sick and he couldn't breathe. So
I heard
that
something about
was,
that.
yeah, that was strange. So that next year he's missing. I mean, I'm assuming he's gonna miss the whole year next year. So um, we'll see what Jalen Brown does. Will they make a trade? I heard people saying John Morant. So we'll see how that works out. But Jalen
Mm.
Brown first option hoops. That'll be very interesting.
Right.
Uh, if they do get John Morant though, that would be hilarious because he just doesn't seem like a Boston guy to me.
I'm gonna say, do he fit the culture?
I don't know if he fits the city. I don't know if they would accept him, but he be throwing bombs and stuff. But
Yeah, he just different.
yeah, he's the complete opposite of Tatum. Maybe Tatum could get him right, get him on a straight path. But I don't know. We'll
Yeah,
see.
I mean, he more like a Anthony Edwards. Yeah, him and
Yeah,
Anthony Edwards like the
and
same.
Lamelo.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
they.
they're all kind of the same, like acting a fool and stuff.
Hmm.
But yeah, I'll be very interested in seeing what moves they make in the offseason because they were looking like. I mean, people said this about Denver a few years ago. They said it about Boston like last year and this year. like teams that were on the verge of possibly becoming a dynasty, but then something happened. Like the Nuggets lost Bruce Brown, and then that changed a lot. And then the Celtics just had injuries pretty much the whole season.
Mm,
Um, and we've had a different champion 7 straight years. So that's the first time that's ever happened. Um, so the NBA is in a unique spot right now.
right. I agree.
But if you could pick one team to be a dynasty over the next 7, 10 years, what team would you pick?
Dynasty. Ooh, that's a tough question. Um, the Timberwolves probably.
Timberwolves, really? Mm.
Yeah, because if I think Julius Randle got what Julius Randle like
Uh,
32, 33, something like that. Yeah,
30,
I don't. But I
he's
think with
30.
Ant, he's only 30. Let's say so. He probably got 4 more years left in him. With him, Anthony Edwards, because Anthony Edwards, he only going to get better. Like, bro, he's only
Yeah,
going to get better. Then all like the role players for the like you said, Dante, Alexander Walker, Jaden McDaniels. If all of them just eat Nas Reed, you know what I'm saying? If all these dudes can like really perfect their role, bro, they about to be dangerous for years to come to me.
yeah. Their game is really crafted towards the playoffs, especially. Like they're a
Mm,
physical team. They play good defense, and they can win a lot of ugly games. So I
mm,
think their game is good for the playoffs. One team obviously is OKC. You know, they have a ton of draft picks. They have a ton of young players. So, but another team is the Spurs. They have that
ooh.
alien. They have that alien, and they just got the second pick. So, will they trade it, or will they get like Dylan Harper and get a bigger guard next to De'Aaron Fox? That'll be that could be spooky. So, I heard people
What
saying
is
they were about.
Bailey?
I don't know if they'll get Ace Bailey because I heard they were trying to get like a secondary guard for
Oh,
De'Aaron
okay,
Fox.
okay.
So, because I remember Wemby's rookie year, like they were having trouble getting him the ball like, in the paint.
Mm,
It was so frustrating. It was so frustrating to watch. I'm like, he's 7'5", just throwing the ball in the paint. He's wide open, and
right.
they just wouldn't throw it. But yeah, put in multiple playmakers around a 7'5" demigod could be scary. Also, I heard they could trade for Giannis. That would be absolutely insane. If they trade Castle, I mean Castle, I'm sorry, but that's Giannis. You know, like
Right.
we will have to make some business decisions. But yeah, the Spurs, I would have to say them because I think they have the player who could be the greatest player of all time if he just stays healthy. Uh,
I
so
agree.
yeah, I would have to say the Spurs.
That's actually a good take right there. I forgot about the Spurs. No, they have the upcoming talent, like you said, whatever they do with this draft pick and probably the next one, yeah, they should be ready, I think, for the next level.
Yeah, I feel like they're right on the cusp. This year they were in playing contention, and then Wemby got hurt, and then they just went full tank mode,
Right.
which is predictable. Uh, so we'll see what happens with the Wemby blood clot situation. Hopefully, it never happens again, but you never know because Dame had it. It's just I don't know what's going on. Torn Achilles and blood clots must be the new trend in the NBA.
Right.
I don't know, but yeah, that'll wrap this episode up. Uh, we'll have to wait and see what happens in these NBA playoffs. Um, stay tuned because we will be coming back with more content and with the NBA and WNBA season. And yeah, just stay tuned. Peace.
Yeah.